Hey everyone, it's Demo. Welcome to my video. So today I want to share this flight with you. I had my buddy Riff out. I was taking him on an FPV flight, and I have to tell you that this is one of my favorite FPV airplanes. It's old, it's broken, it's beat up, but I have a pan servo on it so I can look around and look through my wings and everything. And it's just such a stable flyer, and it's a great airplane for having as a close range FPV airplane. So I love World War II style airplanes. This is the Park Zone Corsair, the version 1. I think they're up to version 3 now. And I have the pan servo right where the pilot's head should be. It's just a little above where the pilot's head should be. So I want to go over some of the things that you need to have a nice FPV experience. Some of the key features that you are going to want if you're going to want an airplane, something similar to this. It doesn't have to be this airplane at all. You don't need to have a pan servo either. You can have a real simple setup, just a FPV transmitter and a camera. But I just wanted to go over some of the finer points of this flight. And like I said, the other reason I wanted to share this flight is that it was just in the morning time. The light is beautiful, and you get a nice slow flying airplane like this, and you can just fly for a good almost 20 minutes and have a great experience. So anyway, let's get right into it. So the first thing that you're going to want, your starting point is going to be, you want to pick a very familiar airplane that you know the flight characteristics of it. Now this airplane, I chose it because it is dead stable and is almost impossible to stall. I can fly this airplane extremely slow, and it just doesn't want to stall. It's an amazing airplane. Whatever Park Zone did to it, it's really great. Now, I choose to run a stabilizer on this airplane. It's not a self-stabilizer, meaning it doesn't self-level the wings for you. Let's say if you let go of your right stick. It just takes out outside influences, wind, torque roll from the motor, and it does take off. You know, if you've got kind of a bumpy airplane, it tends to smooth things out, most definitely. You're going to want to have a good camera. This is the Amway all-in-one. It's got a 200 milliwatt video transmitter along with it, and you see it actually does a really good job. Here we are flying into the sun, and the ground is not blown out dark, and the sun is not completely dominating the image here, so I can still see all the shadows down below, and that's really impressive for such an expensive, considered a cheap camera, I guess you can say. And I think it's got about 150 to 120 to 150 degree field of view. And you'll notice when I pan the camera all the way back, I can actually see my tail, and I'll get into that in just a moment. So my FPV setup is basically that Amway setup, and I'll leave links in the description below so you guys can see it. The pan system is actually a pan and tilt, but I broke it down to just the pan because you don't need tilt on an airplane like this. If you look downwards, or you're just going to see more of the nose, and if you look up, there's no real reason to look up either. So I just have the pan from the pan and tilt system, and it's from Ready Made RC. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below. So the way I have this set up is that I'm flying with no rudder, and instead of having the rudder plugged into the rudder channel, I have the pan servo plugged into where the rudder would be. So anytime I take a right hand turn, I will couple my rudder on my rudder stick along with it, so that basically turns the FPV camera. It's a real simple setup, so you don't have to worry about pan and tilt setup. You don't have to worry about head tracking systems. I like things to be simple. Head tracker is just another thing for it to fail, and I don't want something like that failing on an airplane like this when I'm flying. So anyway, I would not recommend, like for a close-in flyer, I would not recommend an airplane, let's say like a Bixler or something like a motor glider, because they tend to be pretty floaty. I don't want a floaty kind of airplane that's going to kind of like fly like a bus. You put in inputs and it's kind of lazy to turn. This is a nice point and shoot airplane that can fly really, really slow. So, and as you can see here, I'm getting a little sportier with it. And in fact, in the next video from here, I'm going to show you guys me flying the same way with FPV, but doing some actual acrobatics and whatnot, chasing an old World War II biplane. So it's going to be pretty sweet. Anyway, my setup in here, again, is... so this is the Park Zone Corsair, the first version of it, and I have no landing gear on it. I just belly land it. I tend to not like landing gear. I've reinforced the wings because I can run this on 4S as well. And when you're running 4S and you pull hygiene maneuvers, I've heard that you can actually snap the wings off of this airplane. So I have carbon fiber running through the wings and also bamboo shoots, or bamboo sticks, I should say. So everything's fully reinforced. The fuselage and the wings have been coated with laminate. And like I said, this, I guess I didn't say it, but this airplane has been crashed a multitude of times. It's been repaired, and even though it's gone through so much, it's definitely one of my favorite FPV airplanes. As you guys can see, you can see why. This is the type of experience that you get from it. You're flying into the sun. You're a Corsair pilot. You can see the cowl of your nose, and it's so nostalgic. It gets me every time I fly this airplane. Like what the guys that actually flew these things, what their experience might have been like. It's insane, the thoughts that go through my head when I'm flying this thing. The other thing is because I put the pan servo in there with the camera and the FPV sitting where the pilot's going to be, that's way behind the center of gravity, so I had to offset that with some more weight. So typically this airplane takes a 2200 milliamp 3S. I put in a 4000 milliamp 3S, one of the multi-star battery packs, which is just a little bit thicker than a 2200. So I added that weight in and it balanced out just perfectly. And look at the stability of this airplane, you guys. It is just insane how stable this airplane is. I have a feeling this design of the wings, the drop-down W-style wings, really help to stabilize this airplane. It makes it almost feel like it's like skis going over water. It's like it plows into the air or something. It gives you a weird feeling. It's not unlike any other airplane I actually have. It's so amazingly stable. And I fly this airplane all the time without a stabilizer as well. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I could fly like this all day. So guys, I'm going to let the music run out here. There's a couple cool shots coming up where I'm actually flying very close to those trees, and I get to split the trees that are straight in front of me as well. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for listening to me drone on about my airplane. But like I said, you don't get, I guess I didn't say this, but you don't really get this type of an experience from a wing or from many other airplanes, this type of hyper-realistic airplane feel. I mean, this is the most scale FPV flying experience that I've ever had, and I really thought I should share this with you guys. So without further ado, guys, have a great rest of your day. Make sure you go out and fly. Be excited about your flying. With me and Riff, I flew this for like the last 2 days, and I'm like, Riff, you got to come out with me. You got to experience this because I want you to get into this. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll let the rest of the video run out here. Thanks.